John F. Kennedy's challenge to all of us and developing through President Johnson the NASA centers across America, and the enormous research has been done by NASA over the years. I remember debating this question of funding for NASA really in the 1990s and 2000s, talking about the research of heart disease, cancer, HIV/AIDS. I say that to say that as we move into commercial space exploration, we certainly want to make sure that opportunities are given to all of America. This is commercial, yes, but the provisions of commercial space work is enhanced by the government and the resources that we have. So my amendment is to provide that recognition and to conduct outreach to the small, minority, and women-owned business community. It requires that the provisions of the bill address future legislation should include work on how to effectively conduct outreach to small business concerns owned and controlled by women and minorities. As we've all worked hard to encourage small business owners to produce jobs, this is a great entrepreneurial effort, and therefore I support the initiatives that would increase an outreach to small businesses and to create more jobs. There are approximately 6 million minority-owned businesses in the United States, representing a significant aspect of our economy, and many, many more women and small-owned businesses and other minority-owned businesses. And so I would ask that my amendment be accepted, and I reserve my time.
The gentlelady reserves. For what purpose does the gentleman from Texas seek recognition?
Mr. Chairman, I claim opposition to the amendment, though I don't oppose it.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, this amendment requires the launch license streamlining report in the underlying bill to include recommendations on how the FAA should facilitate outreach to minority and women-owned businesses about opportunities in the commercial space industry. I don't object to the gentlewoman's amendment, and I'll reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves, and the gentlelady is recognized.
How much time remaining?
The gentlewoman has 2.5 minutes remaining.
Let me conclude, Mr. Chairman, by saying that women-owned businesses have increased 20% between 2002 and 2007, and currently total close to 8 million. According to the most recent available census data, minority-owned businesses employ nearly 6 million Americans and generate $1 trillion in economic output. My home city of Houston, the home of the Johnson Space Center, is also home to more than 60,000 women-owned businesses and 60,000 African-American-owned businesses and multitudes of minority-owned businesses. I would offer to say that if we can include this amendment, that outreach to these entities under this commercial space exploration legislation will be adding more jobs to the American economy. I ask for the support of the Jackson Lee amendment. I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields back, and the gentleman from Texas is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I yield back as well.
The gentleman yields back. The question